Without asking at least some questions, we just don't know what's going on, and it's our duty to investigate.
Iowa State Auditor Rob Sand is now looking into the abrupt resignation of DHS Director Jerry Foxhoven. Foxhoven has said he stepped down after the governor's office asked him to do something illegal.
I think anytime you have someone who's essentially a cabinet member saying that they were asked by someone in the governor's office to do something that they think may have been illegal, that's an incredibly serious allegation. I don't think I've ever heard of that before in Iowa politics.
Foxhoven is also revealing more details of his resignation. In a text to KCCI-TV, he says, quote, "While I have not shared the details of my departure with the press, I have been completely open about what has happened with the appropriate authorities. One, I've given a full interview to a special agent of the Office of Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Two, I have agreed to participate in a complete interview as requested by the state auditor, which is being scheduled. And three, I have fully explained the situation to a Republican member of the Iowa House as well as a Republican member of the Iowa Senate." The governor's office has denied asking Foxhoven to do anything illegal, but Governor Reynolds has not complied with state law that requires her to explain why Foxhoven is out. She spoke to KCRG-TV last week.
No, and I'm just not going to get into that. I just don't think that that's healthy, and there's no reason to do that.
Or does the public deserve to know kind of what you're looking at when you're making those decisions?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it'll demonstrate if you look at the agency and some of the changes that we're looking at.
State Auditor Rob Sand says that is not good enough.
You have to provide documented reasons for someone's dismissal. If you didn't document any reasons, then you aren't violating the letter of the law. And it's up to Iowans to decide whether that level of transparency is acceptable to them.